Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy WilOcho, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, guys, you got to do it. I am posting daily content like a This video is going to be about your boy Thomas. I was gonna do the Skip Bayless, but I won't. Tom Brady just restructured his deal. He got a 1-year extension. There's all sorts of voidable years, all that good stuff. A lot of these cap situations now, they're getting really convoluted. They're getting so crazy that they darn near hurt my head just to think about. But essentially, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have re-signed Tom Brady to an extension, which also doubles as, you know, a sort of restructuring, which will save cap space, and there's a lot of benefits to it, and yeah. So basically, Tom Brady's coming back for 1 more year after this next year, which if you talk to me, and we've been talking Bucs football, I told you right from the jump this was going to happen. I told you the Bucs were going to extend Tom. We were going to get 3 prime years of Tom Brady at the end of his career. No big deal. What's even more great, even bigger reason to celebrate is this move somehow, in Jason Light's infinite wisdom, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have freed up darn near $20 million in cap space because of Tom Brady. What? That's right. Tom Brady gave us $19-ish million in cap space. Now, the Bucs were already in the negative, so that's going to take a little bit of that 19 just to get us back in the positive. But either way, that's a huge chunk of cap space for Tom Brady. And this opens up so many different things for the Bucs. I could spend this whole video talking about like how great Tom Brady is and how he's such a great leader and how he's the greatest locker room guy ever and how he's just amazing, right? I could just go on and just drool over the greatness that is TB12, the GOAT. But I won't, because everybody does that, and everybody also knows how great Tom Brady is, because if you've missed how great Tom Brady is, then I don't think you watch football very much. Instead, I'm going to talk about what this move actually opens the door for in Tampa Bay. Now, to me, it gives us options. That's the main thing it does. It gives us flexibility. Kind of, oh my gosh, dare I say it gives us pliability? Did I go too far with that one? Was that too corny, too cheesy? You're right, you're right. Moving on. This money gives us the potential chance to sign back Shaq Barrett. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in a position where they have enough cap space to actually offer Shaq Barrett what would be considered a fair market value deal. Of course, someone could jump into the Shaq Barrett race like the Jets or somebody to that effect that have a ton of cap space and just completely overpay for him and just throw a crazy amount of money at him, like dollar signs everywhere that you can't even sort of compete with. That may happen. But if everything goes the way it should go, or the way it's synced up, lined up to go, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can offer Shaq Barrett fair compensation that is in line with what people are anticipating he's going to get. The other thing it potentially opens the door for is re-signing lower tier free agent needs for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but multiple. So yes, you could take this money and give basically all of it, or at least a major chunk of it, to Shaq Barrett. Or you could take it and disperse it out, and maybe this re-signs Ryan Suckup, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, Ndamukong Suh. Those are all guys who are out there, free agents, but lower tier, not necessarily in terms of value, but just lower tier in terms of the number that they will count against your cap, and you could add them up to this number that Tom Brady has just given you. So maybe this is an opportunity for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to come in and sign a bunch of guys and get kind of those lower guys out of the way. You might be able to sign all of those guys, or 3 of the 4, with the amount of money that Tom Brady has just given us. The other thing I'd like to say, and this is just a pie-in-the-sky idea here. Look, a pie! I gotta say it. I just got to. This move is going to affect our cap, and it's going to give us like positive $15-ish million, give or take. And obviously, you can always find a couple million in the cap. That's no big deal. But you know who makes like $15 million that the Bucs could now fit under their cap? I'll give you one hint. He was drafted the same year, the same round, at the same position, wears the same number as Mike Evans. Obviously, it's Odell Beckham Jr. Now, all those reports surfaced about Tom Brady and Odell Beckham Jr. having a relationship and wanting to play together, yada, 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 yada. And that's great. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the time, everybody was like, there's no way they can fit Odell Beckham Jr. into the cap. He made so much money, and the Bucs have so many other things that they've got to do. Well, newsflash, the Bucs got done like half those things, and they got money left over, so they could realistically, they could go out, trade for Odell Beckham Jr. It's not impossible. They could do it. Now, me personally, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan. I've never been a big fan of Odell Beckham Jr. As a matter of fact, I don't really like Odell Beckham Jr. as a football player, and I don't think he's a good fit for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, it's not up to me. To me, the biggest issue with Odell Beckham Jr. is no matter what, no matter whether he's good on the field or bad on the field or hurt or just whatever the case is with Odell Beckham Jr., he's always dramatic. He always brings seemingly unwarranted and unnecessary drama to whatever situation he's a part of. And I hate that. You know, I hate, like, that unnecessary drama to me is something that I'm not looking for. And I don't think the Bucs need. Now, I will say the Buccaneers have a strong locker room. And Tom Brady is quite possibly the greatest leader in the history of athletics, just as a whole. So if there's anyone who can work with Odell and make Odell peak Odell and get the best out of him, yes, it's absolutely 1,000% Tom Brady. But the issue I have is it worth bringing in Odell Beckham Jr. as kind of a test run to see if Tom Brady can do it and see how it works? To me, I really don't think that I don't think it's necessary. I would much rather just bring back our guys. We just won the Super Bowl, and we won it in dominant fashion. We look like the best team in the league, bar none. So the best thing for the Bucs to do, to me, if you're the best team in the league, you know what you should do? You should bring back all of the pieces you can that were a part of that best team in the league. So if you're telling me I could choose between Odell Beckham Jr. and Shaq Barrett, dude, give me Shaq Barrett. If you're telling me I could choose between Odell Beckham Jr. or Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Ryan Suckup, give me the latter. I want those three guys back. Those guys are Super Bowl champions. Odell Beckham Jr. has never even had a good playoff game. To me, I'm not the biggest Odell fan. I never have been, so my viewpoint may be biased, and I'll admit that. I'll admit to being a little bit biased because I've never been a huge fan of Odell. Even dating back to when he was a Giant, I always felt like he was just a little bit overhyped. And then, obviously, he went to Cleveland. I mean, we know what happens for the most part when you go to Cleveland. It doesn't work out. So it doesn't work out. And Cleveland has had more success when Odell's not playing than when he is playing. So to me, the writing is on the wall for Odell Beckham Jr. I think he's a great athlete and a good football player. But is he the kind of football player and the kind of guy that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need or should go out and pursue? Well, that's where I get a little iffy. And I really don't know if an argument can be made where Odell is so much better than the guys that we have that it's worth making that plunge and just making that jump and just trusting going all in on Odell Beckham Jr. That's just my opinion. I would love to hear how you guys feel. Do you think it would be smarter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to take this money that Tom Brady gave us, thank you, Tom, and go get Shaq Barrett? Go get a couple lesser name free agents that are our own guys and bring them in? Or do you think we should go all in and go for the big kaboom style splash? Just scream out cannonball and jump in the freaking pool and get Odell Beckham Jr. in some sort of a trade with the Cleveland Browns. Let me know, please, in the comments down below, because I'm really curious. I'm curious how you guys feel about the whole Odell thing and everything like that. So let me know in the comments down below. And thank you to Tom Brady. Just, wow. I mean, what a guy. It's amazing. The most amazing thing about Tom Brady is that he just never gets tired of winning. And he never gets tired of being successful. He's willing to do whatever it takes because ultimately, at the end of the day, he just wants to win, and he just has no interest in anything else. And it blows my mind, really. His consistency, the consistency of his desire, I think is the thing that blows my mind the most. And it's the thing I appreciate the most about him, probably. It's the consistency of his desire. Guys, I'm going to say it again. You got to go to the Instagram. I'm posting things on the Instagram left and right like this and like that. So you got to go check it out. There's cool stuff there. I mean, you don't have to give me a follow if you're not comfortable giving me a follow. That's fine. I'm not even mad about that. But go check it out. It's quality content. I promise. I'm not lying. I won't let you down. This is the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying. Go Bucs. Super Bowl champions. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.